All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol WKHS Workhorse Group Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to state to all my first-time viewers and investors, welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So Workhorse Group Inc. has actually been in a upward trend until today. Today it slightly dropped, and when we look at this a little bit in a broader perspective, some profit taking has come in, some uncertainty, and then quickly it leveled back off and it's continuing the run. So it was just a temporary touch. Now the question is, will it be temporary just for today, or will something like that happen again shortly after these next coming days, or even the beginning of next week? Now when you look at it, Workhorse has been in a great phenomenal recovery, almost working its way up ×2 from those lows. And then it dropped. It dropped at that point, and you could see that there was some profit taking here. When you look at it, the average on the upward trend was about, I'd say 15. And there was a high order here of 74,000 K in volume, and then 800, 3,000, and then throughout the day, they were pretty high. But this drop here was pretty big, and this drop here accounts for almost 200,000 and some change, like 230,000, with the small drop here and then that last drop. So almost like right here we have 300,000 to almost 400,000 shares that most of that volume was selling. Then started the 24,000 to 19, and when you look up towards this point, which is actually bringing it back up, this is probably the highest amount of volume of shares in 30 minutes. That was 60,000. The rest was in the teens, and it slightly broke through the 20 mark, and then 30,000 in one of them. But other than that, just to get to the point of it, is that this drop here was mostly volume going outwards and not coming in towards the stock, and I believe that had to do some profit taking and also probably some uncertainty. So remember, this week is a short week. I've been telling this to every single investor in all my videos. If you watch most of my videos, I apologize for you guys that actually have to kind of hear this again, but every single ticker symbol goes out to a different public overall. And now if you're my subscriber, you have the opportunity to watch all of them and actually click on the ones you want to watch. But as people come across this video, I have to go ahead and explain this to all the first-time viewers or anyone watching this one alone, because I don't want somebody to miss out on the information that I'm sharing in other videos that has to do with the overall market. And I just want to go ahead and state this real quick. So again, I apologize in advance, but I might sound like a broken record, but this is a short week, and we were due for some profit taking and uncertainty due to the fact of the short week. And for those of you that are aware or aren't aware, I would love to see your guys' comments down below and your thoughts on this. Is Black Friday is coming up, and then we have Cyber Monday. And the market tends to get a little shaky on those days because according to the performance of those 2 days, it will create the outlook of how the market's going to react for the next coming week after Black Friday and after Cyber Monday, and then also leading into December. So it's going to be very important to pay close attention to how stocks are reacting right now and how are they going to react towards that time. Because if they're not reacting so well right now, it's because of the uncertainty, and some people are clocking out with their profits and not sure of what's to come. Now, if we get some clarity and we start to see things pick back up, then that was just this little hiccup of profit taking uncertainty, and then now we're back on track. But if things tend to continue in that downward spiral, that would be probably something bigger, and we would have to do some research and look into that. But right now, based off of the market and how it's acting, I believe it's profit taking and also uncertainty for this short week, and also long weekend and Black Friday and Cyber Monday results. But let's go ahead and look at how this is going right now. So let's see what's important for tomorrow. We're going to talk about this a little bit narrow, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit broader. So the highest point and one of the lowest points in this sideways movement after this dramatic drop, and then slight recovery in the upward direction. So the bulls are fighting to stay above the 50-day moving average. And the 50-day moving average is 27.58. I want every single investor to be aware of that. Write that down. 27.58 is super important. As long as we're above it, the bulls are in control. The moment we're below it, the bears are in control. So the highest point before the fall, which is probably one of the most important resistance levels after the resistance we're about to talk about, is $30. That was touched once again when this was actually on its way down. That was one of the highest points, and that was the highest point before it continued to fall. Now the lowest point reached was down here at 24.49, 24.50 if you want to round it up. But keep these two numbers in mind. At this point, at the highest point, $30 and 24.49, 24.50 give or take, for both sides of the spectrum, depending on the volatility of this stock, if it's going in this direction or going in this direction for the next couple of days and weeks. Now, we're currently sitting at 28.30. The 50-day moving average is 27.58. We're slightly above it, and there's going to be a tug of war. Now, for the bulls to continue this run and stay above the 50-day moving average and stay in bullish territory, they're going to need to break through this resistance. That's $29. They need to break through $29, turn that into a support, and break away from it into newer highs, new resistance levels, and pull further away from the 50-day moving average. Super important for the bulls right now, because this can break through the resistance, hang out right here. And if it doesn't continue to work its way up, this 50-day moving average in no time will break right through the price, get above it, and get this into bearish territory, giving leverage to the bears. And if it doesn't break through resistance and it slightly touches it and goes sideways, this is just making it easier for this to cross and get above, and this to go in this direction by the bears, gaining control. And excuse my terrible drawing, but I do like to illustrate so you guys can visualize what I'm saying more than just hear me say it. And this point is super important. $29 needs to be broken through. I want to emphasize that, by the bulls and turn into a support so this can reach newer highs and new resistance levels. Now, our support level, which actually ends up being slightly below the 50-day moving average, is 27.25. If that gets broken through, super important to keep in mind that we're now in bearish territory and we're on our way, getting deeper, further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So the next support level before the lowest point of 24.49, you can take a look at 26.21. It's a good point of reference up here, 26.21, to see how it's reacting between 27.25, 26.21, to see if the bulls are having an opportunity to reappear, because it is really close to the 50-day moving average. And that does not mean that if this gets broken through 27.25 that the bears have completely gained control, but they're on their way to gaining leverage. So then you get this next point here at 26.21 to see how it's reacting in between that. And if it breaks through this next support level, even if the bulls were to reappear, it's going to be much harder for the bulls to get back into bullish territory and then break through $29 and turn that into a support. But before getting to any of these lower numbers, 27.25 is the first point of reference. If that gets accomplished, the bears accomplish breaking through the 50-day moving average and the first support level in bearish territory. So pay close attention to the behavior of the stock. Again, I want to emphasize the bulls need to break through resistance, which is $29, and turn it into a support so they can pull further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.